There was a time in my life where I was owing over 100 million naira in debt. That period, it seemed like every call I got was from a creditor. Every time I'm going to banks to explain myself, I'm having Zoom to explain to my investors, or I'm receiving calls and threats on my WhatsApp. It was one of the hardest things I've had to do, and this lasted for years of going back and forth and working. And during that period, I had two choices: quit, close down my business, call it a day, and have these creditors reach out to me consistently for the rest of my life. Or two, fight and get my business up, grow my business, get to a point where I clear all the debt and be free eventually. I went for option two, and I'm going to be sharing today how exactly I was able to do it. So how did I get into debt of over 100 million? I know a lot of you are thinking, this Rise, you don't go do lavish spending. He has gone to club. I can swear like this. I can't swear I've not been to club. But yes, it was not because I was trying to live the life or trying to be flashy or be glamorous. That's not how I ended up in debt. It was actually a business risk I took. So when we were starting our first project, we needed a lot of money, like shitload of money, because building a house is not cheap. And then we came from agents to developers. So what did we do? We took out loans, a couple from bank and a couple from private investors, and we took those loans and we used it to start our first project, which did well but not so well because it was a major loss. Started the project, planned it out, everything was going great, and then boom, inflation. It was around the time where, was it Buhari? It was Buhari. I don't know what he was doing with the exchange rate. Remember that time when exchange was still like 200, and then over time it became like 700 or something, and then there was now exchange rate in the bank that nobody gets versus exchange rate in reality. Yeah, that thing looked like numbers, but to me it was hell. So during that period, inflation happened. So most of the projects we invested the money in were not profitable. In fact, they did not just not make profits, but they ended up in big loss. So now you've borrowed money to do a project, you are in loss from the project, and then you're also supposed to pay back the investor their capital with interest. Everything then amounted to over 100 million we had to pay back. And then boom, the calls started coming, and people called us names. You're a fraud, you're this. In Nigeria, when you're owing money, you're looked at like a thief, because there's nothing like your business failed. That idea does not exist in the Nigerian space. Maybe except you, even banks don't even listen to, oh, my business did not do well. Inflation, that inflation was so interesting because we could all see the inflation, right? And they're like, nah, I'm not blaming them, because me, if I give you money and you don't turn up, I don't go take any talk. Now maybe president when they say inflation. So I'm not saying the investors were wrong. They were legit in their rights. They were very legit. The investors, the bank, they needed to get their money back. And that was how it started, a roller coaster that took years to come out of. And I'm going to give you step-by-step things we did to come out of it smoothly and without much ruckus. The first one is this: always respond to your creditors. Now, most times when people are owing money, one of the things they do is they hide. They're afraid, they run away, and they try to avoid talking to the people that are owing money as much as possible. But we did quite the opposite. We are always reaching out. In fact, if you can reach out, reach out. I'm not saying that every time I reached out, but it was my number one guiding principle. Always reached out, always pick their call, always have the meeting. In fact, many call me as a creditor and say, hey, Brian, where's my money? I'll be like, can I come and meet you? Where are you? Let's meet. Can we meet next week? Let's see, let's talk. And I noticed something. Whenever you are upfront and you are constantly making communication, they are a lot more relaxed, and you give the vibe that you are genuine and you're not trying to run away with their money. Because at the end of the day, what do they want? They want their money back. They don't want you dead. They want their money back. That's the priority. So make sure that no matter what happens, you're constantly reaching out, you're constantly meeting with them, you're constantly picking calls. Don't just block them. Don't off your phone and just go MIA, or worse, you're not picking calls. This is what used to make people go and report you to police. It's because they can't find you, they can't communicate with you, and you're leaving them in this limbo that makes it look like you've actually ran away with their money. I remember during those periods, sometimes they'll call, I'll do a tour, show them all the things we're working on, the properties we had that we're working on, show them other things. I was always available for a meeting. Now, always available. Now for you to do this, right, there's one thing you also need to do, and which is you need to forgive yourself. Most times when people run into debt, they enter this space where they are constantly criticizing themselves and constantly making themselves feel bad. You need to forgive yourself. The fact that you are beating yourself up does not make the investor any happier. You think because you feel bad, that's going to make them feel better. No, that your bad feeling is just going to make things worse. So you need to forgive yourself and project confidence. Forgive yourself. Understand that you fucked up. What you did, you miscalculated, or worse, you went reckless or something like that. Forgive yourself and then present yourself confidently. See, if you present yourself confidently, people will believe you. If you come and you are crying and rolling on the floor, oh my God, help Shanu me, please help my life. I'm sorry, I'm owing you. Yeah, that might sound effective in your brain, but it's not. Imagine two people are owing money, right? One is owing you, two of them 50k. First person comes rolling on the floor, talking about how you should please give them an extension. The other person comes confidently and give you a plan and say, hey, this is exactly how I want to pay. I'm very sorry. I did not expect this to happen, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Which one do you think you have more confidence in? The guy rolling on the floor or the guy with a plan? So you need to exude confidence. As much as you are owing money, you are not a thief, right? Understand that you are not a thief. Generally, normally, investments can go bad, right? People can borrow you money and you not pay back on time. Understand that that is also part of business, and forgive yourself. You are not the first to owe money. I met Donald Trump when he was owing, is it like $800 million? He says this story every time. I find it so funny. He's like, he came down from one of his helicopters. But the guy's owing $800 million. He came down from one of his helicopters, was going to Trump Tower, and he saw a beggar on the road, and he was telling this baby was with that, oh, it could be his daughter too. Some story says it was his daughter. That, oh, this man, this homeless guy in front of the building is richer than me because he has zero and me, I'm owing $800 million. Now, what about that story I find interesting is the fact he came from his helicopter. And I'm like, wait, let me get this straight. You are still flying a helicopter while you're owing people money. And it really shows the difference between owing a lot of money and owing small money. Small money, you get harassed a lot. Owing a lot of money, it's talk. You will talk, you will negotiate, and you get things done. So you need to understand that owing debt is still a part of business, right? I don't mean getting to debt recklessly. There were some things that we did we could have done better. Definitely we made some mistakes, but also forgive yourself and present yourself confidently, because being afraid will not help. Criticizing yourself, feeling bad about yourself, kicking yourself in the nuts will not help. So forgive yourself and then make sure that you are presentable to your investor. You are always reachable to the people you are owing money. Don't hide. If you hide, you will not get things done. The next thing we did was we communicated a plan for repayment. See, there is no story you want to tell people beyond giving them back their money. You took the money, right? Pay back. And it's one of the best thing about going through that is at some point, eventually, we paid off everything. In fact, we did not just pay off, we paid off with interest. That's why I can do this video, because if we've not paid, they'll probably come to the comment section of this video like, oh, Loshi, you're owing me money, you're doing video online talking about owing me money, are you mad? So we paid off everything, and we paid off with interest in some cases we didn't pay with interest. And one thing I noticed is people want to hear plans of repayment. Now, you might not be able to follow the plan of repayment all the time, but at least they drop something. Let one more not pass start you dropping something. If you are owing somebody money, don't go and be living your life lavishly and you are not dropping something. If you are owing me 10 million, right? And end of the month you send me 300k, I'll be pissed. I'll be so pissed. In fact, I'll be angry. But guess what? You actually paid me something. Versus the other guy owing me and just ghosted. I will shout and shout, but I'll be like, at least he's paying something. And it was one thing that set us aside. I remember one of the group were owing money that period said, one of the members were like, see, you guys were not the only company we invested in. We invested in like 5 companies. All 5 of those companies failed in paying back with interest except you. You were the only ones that kept picking our calls and kept paying. In fact, it was so bad or so good that at the end of the repayments, which took way longer than supposed to, they wanted to reinvest. because they're like, you guys clearly have integrity. So make sure that you're always paying back. This is not a video to teach you about hacking it and meandering your way out of it. No, you dey owe people money. Now you collect the money, you spent it on stuff, it didn't work out. Yes, now you pay back. So always have a repayment plan and communicate with the people you are owing money consistently, and always be paying something. Don't ghost, don't do and don't pay. Always be paying something. Another thing that really helped is you need to set a very big goal for your business. Now, the only way to come out of 100 million naira debt is to do 2 billion, 3 billion in your company. So that way your debt is so small that your growth, you outgrow it. So make sure that you are setting big goals for yourself, and you are also pursuing it. That the fact you're owing money does not give you a pass to that stay at home and not work. In fact, those periods where I was owing money were the hardest working period of my life, because every day I had something to wake me up. The debt. I was finding how to sleep. Where before we started, someone said that if I'm owing money, I will not sleep. Me too, I was not sleeping. But whenever I'm not sleeping, it's not to cry and talk about how I'm owing money. No, it's to actually work on repaying, actually work on selling more, on building more, on doing more, so that you can pay back those debts. Because if you don't pay back, well, you're stuck where you are. And you need to consistently set big goals to pursue and make your debt. And this particular part, there's a caveat, right? You have to also be careful while you are repaying not to sacrifice your business, right? It's a very tempting thing. Now, if somebody, they are owing money here, this like, so what concern me and the business? Let me tell you something. If the business owing you money fails, guess what? You will not get your money back. So as much as possible, if anybody wants that business to succeed, it should be you. So if a business is owing you 200 million, you should wake up in the morning and pray that that business will survive, so that they can pay. In fact, pray for growth for them, because when they grow, if they are honest people, they will pay you your money with even interest, right? So it benefits nobody if you go out of business. So do not go so hyper on paying back your loan that you are consistently investing both your capital and your profits. So let's say you're a car dealer, right? You have money, you're supposed to buy cars to resell and make profits. Then you take the money you're supposed to use to go and buy cars to pay off your debt. Now you don't have money, you don't have cars, you have nothing to sell. Obviously now what's left is your debt and depression. The only time that you might consider is if the entire money will clear the debt. But even at that time, I would recommend, and that's what I would do, I will pay parts and take the others to invest in the business, because I will get more money there. When I get more money, I pay you and I still have the business. So you have to be careful not to do this and overpay debt and then lose your business. So consistently set big goals for yourself. Consistently pursue greater things for your business, so that your business can outgrow the debts that you're owing. So the last thing that you need to do, this is something that if you've watched 2-3 of my videos, it will be like I'm always saying it, is work. Work really, really hard. If you're owing money, I should not be the one even telling you this. Your Igbese should keep you up at night. I don't know why a lot of people are looking for peace and safety. My dear, if you say you want to be an entrepreneur, throw that idea away. You know what's funny? I don't think anybody has peace and safety. Everybody's hustling. Everybody's on the streets right now. Maybe if you are Mark Zuckerberg or some of those guys that have made it, they can have all those things. But you, Onigbese, you're owing money. Work. I'm tired of seeing people who are in debt and their solution is, I'm going to take three months from working. I'm going to, I'm going to pause the business. I need to stay away so that they don't see me. How has that ended up? They might forget about the debt over time, yes. But what about you? What happens to you? Is that what you're going to do with your life now? Start a business, fail, and then run away. Then start another one, fail, and then run away. You need to work. Being in debt is not licensed to quit. In fact, it is licensed. It is your reason to double down. If that business you're doing can actually make profits, except maybe the business itself is flawed. If it can actually make profits, it's a profitable business, my dear, work hard. Double your efforts. Build. Grow. Don't take that break. Don't take that 2 weeks break, that 1 month break. Like, that break is going to make things worse. Like, people keep doing this. I've seen multiple do this. And guess what? Those are the people that never make it out. Don't take your break. When you are going through crisis, that's the time you need to show up even more. So now that you are owing money, if you used to come to work 9 o'clock, come to work by 7. Because why? You are owing money. If you were closing 7 o'clock, now it's time to close 10 p.m. Why? You are owing money. Not the other way around. Like the logic around this, it blows my mind. You are owing money. Now there's a higher obligation you have. And instead of you to increase your work rate, you reduce it. Like the worst one is even taking a whole ass break. Oh my God, you're such a successful person. You should actually go on vacation while you're at it. Travel to Paris, chop life. Oh, you can't afford that. Oh, no shit. It's because you don't work. So work hard. Like work hard so that your investors can get their money back. Or the people you are owing, or your friends and family you collected money from, they can get their money back. If not, this whole thing I'm saying will not work. So put in the work, consistently grow. And with time, you wake up one morning and guess what? Nobody's blowing up your phone over debt. They'll blow your phone up for different reasons, but you're not owing anybody money. So you'll be in a good place. And that's exactly how I came over 100 million naira debt. And I think regardless of where your debt level is or whatever you're going through, this is also the same thing you can do to come over whatever crisis that you're going through. Now, if you like this video, you should like, subscribe, comment below what you're currently struggling in your business so we can do a video about it, and maybe that would help you grow even better. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.